listening to a solo episode of the RE Agent podcast, the #1 real estate podcast in the world. My name is Cody from Sheridan Street. I'm the co-founder and co-host of the RE Agent podcast. So excited to share with you today. Usually we do some interviews. I'm excited to share with you today something I call the profitable ads framework. So if you're a real estate agent that is really looking to drive real results in your ads, what I want to do is I want to walk you through 4 steps today really quickly on how you can actually create ads that actually get results. I've done this presentation and I've taught this profitable ads framework to multiple entrepreneurs, multiple real estate agents all across North America. And what I want to do is I want to share with you 4 things you need to consider before you start running your own ads. And these are also 4 things that you should consider before hiring a marketing agency, because what's going to happen is going to give you more clarity around how you can actually, from a high level perspective, ensure that your ads teams are driving results on a high level. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through the 4 things that are super important to consider when you're running ads. These are things that we do, and these are things that we consider when we're running ads. So I'm going to share my screen. And if you're listening back on iTunes or Spotify, I encourage you to check out the podcast on YouTube, because you'll be able to kind of see the graphics and everything. So let's get into it. So one of the first things that you need to consider when you're looking to run ads is you need to consider messaging. So what we say to all of our clients is the most important thing that you can do is you ensure that you do research on the types of clients that you're working with. One of the things that I've done really early on in my career is I encouraged everyone that came into our ecosystem in order to niche down, because what niching down does, and what is specifically in your marketing, it allows you to speak to the psychographics and the demographics of a specific person. So say, for example, in my marketing, I want to target one specific subgroup. Like I want to target business owners that are looking for waterfront property, or I want to target maybe seniors that are looking to downsize. How I speak to those types of people and how I speak to those 2 different types of subgroups is going to be very different. The pain points, the things that keep them up at night is going to be very different. The demographics and obviously the psychographics, and I'm going to walk you through kind of what that means. Like really your messaging is one of the most important things you need to consider. It's the words you say and it's how you say it. I'm going to say that one more time. It's the words that you say and it's how you say it. It's how you say the things to the right people, because getting the right message in front of the right audience is ultimately what creates success, because you're able to speak the right message to the right audience, which allows you to drive the result that you're looking to drive. So messaging is one really, really important thing. And these are some things that whenever we're working with clients, we get them to ask themselves, like, what products has your avatar bought online before? If you're in the real estate space, ask yourself, are there other competitors in this specific market and what are they saying to these people? Like, what are the pain points? Like, what are the things that they're actually doing? And what other content are they consuming? Are there other people doing similar things? And we call it funnel hacking. Are there other people and other thought leaders that are trying to get my target demographic, and what are they selling to them? Like, what content are they consuming online? Are they operating a lot on Zillow? Are they operating on Redfin? Like, where are they operating the most? And what is the message that they're sending to that specific audience? One of my favorite books that you can read around writing good, having good messaging, or we call it copy, meaning like the words that are actually written, is by Eugene Schwartz. He wrote a book called Breakthrough Advertising. I think that any marketer, any real estate agent that wants to do marketing for their business needs to read this book, because it gives you the understanding of like whether somebody is problem aware, which, most times when real estate agents come into the world of marketing, they try to market only to the problem aware people, the people that like are generally looking to buy within 1 to 3 months or 1 month. But the issue with that is the vast majority of the market leading up to that point, if you were to market to them prior to that, when they are considering making a buying decision, you're already going to be in front of them. So what Eugene Schwartz says is, copy is not written, copy is assembled. You do not write copy, you assemble it. You are working with a series of building blocks. You are putting building blocks together, and then you're putting them into certain structures, and you're building a little city of desire for your person to come and live in. What does that mean? It means that the better messaging, and the better you understand your target demographic, the things that keep them up at night, the better you're able to assemble the words in order to get the result you're looking for. That's essentially what it means that copy is assembled. We assemble copy through understanding our target demographic. The next thing that kind of flows in, like when you're running profitable ads, that flows into messaging is like, messaging is one really important thing. It's mainly around copy. But the thing that I want you to consider here, and the thing that I really want you to think about when you're running ads, is targeting. Like, am I getting my message in front of the right audience? So now with Facebook and Google and all these different platforms, it becomes a little bit more difficult. YouTube they still have the ability to get really hyper targeted around your marketing. So if you're considering advertising on YouTube, it's not a bad idea. But for the most part, these advertising platforms have made us go fairly broad, which is why we have to go, like specifically in the real estate space, which is why we have to get so good with our messaging and who we're trying to reach. But targeting really comes down to rapid fire testing. Even on these platforms, what we'll do is we'll test broad audiences, different interest keyword audiences. We also have the ability to purchase what we call verified homeowner data, where it's like, if we get 1,000 leads, we can upload those 1,000 leads directly to a custom audience on Facebook or a custom audience on TikTok, and we can run our ads just to those specific subgroup of people. So it makes our marketing more effective when we have a group of 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 people that we're marketing the right message. Like if we're trying to target homeowners, we want to make sure that we're trying to get in front of as many homeowners as we possibly can. So then we'll generally buy lists. But rapid fire testing is like a series of testing, like different images, creatives. It's a form of marketing that allows us to test different headlines. It allows us to test a bunch of different things, because we never know, we're never certain what the actual audience that we're trying to reach is going to resonate with. Like, we don't know what specifically we say that's going to resonate with. And that's why we test multiple different campaign objectives. So maybe we'll test video view retargeting. For the most part, in the real estate space, we try to drive as many leads as we possibly can. And then we try to squeeze them on the back end through email and text message. But there's different campaign objectives that you can test. And then you obviously want to test a mixture of cold and warm audiences, meaning like if you have like a pixel on your website, or if you have for example, like a list of people that are set up on property searches, you can actually upload those as custom audiences into the platform and run hyper targeted ads towards those people to get them to do a specific thing that you want them to do. The next thing that I want to walk through with you is your offer. So your offer could be based around your track record. It could have a guarantee. Some really solid offers in the online space have to do with like, we'll buy your house within 30 days, like we'll sell your house within 30 days or we'll buy it. But coming up with something that sets you apart, whether it be a track record, like you could even say, on average, our clients that work with us sell their home in 21 days or sell their home in 14 days. You can use verbal case studies in order to essentially present an offer where it's like, on average, it doesn't necessarily have to be a guarantee. A guarantee is additional. Like a lot of times when real estate agents come to marketing agencies, they want to know that they get a guarantee, and it's no different than your clients. You're like, if you buy based on a guarantee, your clients that work with you that want to sell their home want some sort of guarantee too. So I would encourage you to think about, put yourself in their shoes, but maybe it's even a track record. And if you don't have a track record early on, that's why a lot of people have to add guarantees in order to drive more client acquisition. But we always say that there's no amount of marketing and there's no amount of traffic, like eyeballs, that we can get in an offer. Like we can't just throw something at people and expect to convert. Like the market is the market. An offer is either good or it's bad. So, this could be an offer in the real estate space, could be multiple different things. It could be track record, it could be guarantee, or it could be unique selling proposition. Like we have access to some of the best rates in the market today because we're partnered with 1, 2, and 3. We're partnered with 3 different mortgage companies. Like for example, from an offer perspective, we have a client that we work with that has direct access to they actually created a partnership with a really large lending company. So they have a red carpet experience where you don't have to go anywhere else. Like everyone on their team from, I think title, definitely mortgages on their team. They built like this mini team where it's like when a lead comes through or a new prospect comes through their sequence, they have a very great process that drives the result that they're looking to drive, which is like sell your home in 14 days. You don't have to necessarily have it backed by a guarantee, but it does add some value to them moving forward faster. But thinking of different ways that allow you to drive results, like thinking about an offer that sets you apart from everyone else, and your unique selling proposition will do this, your track record will do this, and a guarantee will definitely do this as well. But really your offer comes down to like choose one person, like one avatar, choose one problem to solve, and have one unique offer. So what I mean by that is like if you're targeting business owners that are super busy and they want to buy a waterfront property, think about like how can you speak to that person? How can you solve the problem? Maybe you want to target busy, like very busy business owners that don't necessarily have the time to go see different homes. Maybe you create a unique mechanism. You call it, like you want to create like your offer. You want to have it to be, you want it to be unique. Like we call it like the home buyer's advantage, or we call it the waterfront advantage. And then you get this, and this. And we understand that you, business owner, are busy and you're constantly on the go and you're traveling and you're doing all these things. We want to take care to make sure that we can get you access to X, Y, and Z property. This works really well in the investment. Like if you're trying to target investors, where it's like we have access to the best properties in Milwaukee, we have the best access to the best properties in LA. You can target investors saying, get on my list, become a VIP. My investors get X, Y, and Z. They get the best deals, the best cash flowing deals. Let me tell you about a deal that can let me tell you about a house that could pay you to own it. It's coming up with like a really great marketing messaging to one specific audience with one specific offer. The third thing that I want you to consider is creative. We kind of chatted a little bit about this in targeting, and this is actually the fourth thing rather. The creative is everything. Like we always say that the market is the market is the market. Just because you create one video, you're like, this video is the best video ever. It's not true. Like the market is the market is the market. You need to consider your headlines, your body copy, your image creatives, especially if you're running on Facebook. You really need to think about all those things like headlines, copy, video creative, image creative. There's so many different ways. And now if you're advertising on TikTok, what you really need to consider is you need to test a bunch of different videos, because you just never know what video is going to perform and one's not going to perform. But there's different things that you can do from a creative perspective, is making sure that like in your short form content on TikTok that you're changing, you have jump cuts that happen every 2 seconds. They call it the 2-second rule. And also make sure that you have captions on your video, because 85% of video, especially on social, is watched without audio. So when you're advertising on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, you need to make sure that your ads have captions, because you want to still be able to capture somebody's attention to get them to do the result you're looking for. So you need to have captions. Your videos need to have jump cuts. Your creative, you need to test multiple creatives on Facebook. You need to test both video and image. You need a bunch of different creative, because creative can get stalled over time. And even though your creative might work for a month, all of a sudden it stopped working and we need to go back to the drawing board with new creative. So something to consider. The other thing I want you to consider with your creative, and we're going to close up with this, is like it needs to be native to the platform. So you can see on screen, like, and if you can't, if you're listening back on iTunes, Spotify, like if you're running on Facebook, the best thing that you can run on Facebook is make sure that your creative is cropped for a square format. And if you're running on stories, use up all the real estate on the actual platform. And Instagram stories, you want to record in a vertical format, so you use the entire real estate. And oftentimes with stories, you want to be on camera with your phone so that you can, like, it doesn't feel like an ad. Like TikTok is specifically that way. They say, actually, don't make TikToks, don't make ads, make TikToks. So it's something that I really want you to consider, that like, what are the things that people are consuming? And that's when we talked about earlier on, like research. Now, it's not just research on the specific person, it's research on the platform as well. We chatted about how your images and your creative needs to capture people's attention. Like you got 3 seconds to really capture their attention. You want to stop the scroll, and your creative really is your video, your photography, your headlines, and your body copy. And that is the profitable ads framework: messaging, targeting, offer, creative. If you want to have really great ads that drive really great results, I would highly implore you to not just run, like, I encourage you to run your broad ads as well, like fill your funnel, get as many leads in your database as you possibly can. Run the list of home ads because it works and it builds your database and it gets people onto property searches. But then once you fill your funnel that way, the encouragement I want to give you, real estate agent, is like, how can I create subsets of audiences that target specific people? Because if I can be the authority of waterfront property for business owners, I win long-term. It doesn't mean that I'm not going to work with everyone that wants to buy and sell real estate. It just allows me to niche down and be a category king. And that's really what I encourage you to do with the profitable ads framework. Become a category king. And the way you do that is you market very, very fluidly towards a specific target demographic with a specific offer and a specific, unique mechanism and how you get them the result that they're looking for. So I hope you get a ton of value today. I do thank you for tuning in to another episode of the RE Agent Podcast. This was a solo one. We'll see you soon, and hope you have a great day.